Hello guys, I'm Ivan Lopez from Spotlight in Mexico City. I'm glad to give you a quick tutorial on how to connect QLC Plus with FL Studio. So you can use Midi output from FL to be the input for QLC Plus, and then you can create a synchronized project with music and everything else, no? So let's start. First of all, you might need installed Loop Midi. Is free software, so you can download it. Obviously, I will leave the links into the description of this video, so you can download it from there. And well, starting with this Loop Midi, it will open this window at all. No, so you don't need to do anything else than just quick setup like a new port name in order to receive the data from a specific port. Okay, so for example, I'm going to create a new one. No, I don't know, I'm going to name it QLC. So as you can see, you can add it, and here you can see if you are receiving data through this port. Okay, so practically it's much like that. Then inside your configuration for QLC, suppose that you are having a blank project over here. In the input output window, you want to see like universe 1 to 4, and then if you close and open again QLC Plus, for example, I'm going to open it because you need to restart once you have created this loopback MIDI port. Inside the input output, you will see here in the MIDI tab this QLC. So you are going to click it here, and now it's going to be the input inside over here. Okay, so once you have done this configuration, obviously you need to make a profile. Okay, but I'm going to talk about that later because I'm going to need obviously FL Studio. No, so once you have this connection, Loop Midi is going to talk. It's going to be like the input specifically to this universe. Okay, so when you already finish this configuration over QLC, the next step that you're going to do is configure FL Studio. Okay, so we need to be sure that we are going to do MIDI settings here in the panel. So you will see our QLC preferences over the output on the input. So what we need only to worry about is the output. Okay, specifically to change the port, obviously to send the master sync, this is going to be enabled, and I'm doing port 1, like very basic, and through this port 1 we need to send the MIDI. Okay, so once I open the MIDI out plugin, for example, this is going to happen. As you can see, obviously here we need to configure the same port, and you will see now the magic. Let me minimize this window. Let me close this window, and over here you will see that here we have the total data and the throughput per second, and when I play these notes, you can see here that the total data is increasing, right? So this is correct because it seems that FL Studio is sending the correct amount of MIDI data to the Loop Midi, and then we can transfer that to MIDI for QLC. Okay, so this is very important because we have connected already the FL Studio to Loop Midi. Okay, so this is great. Finalizing this one is going to be like, for example, I'm going to close all this. So as I'm sure we need to go for the profile creation. Okay, as I already mentioned, we need to create like a new profile version because I already did this one, but let me erase it so it can be like a new one, fresh one. So what is going to happen? We have here our input profile editor window in where we can put like type model. We can put like FL Studio Loop Midi. Okay, And we need to be very, very cautious onto these MIDI channels, okay? And also the input matching. The input matching is very important because over here we need to go like to know what are the inputs from the FL Studio in order to QLC recognize that input, and we can generate like a note or maybe like a knob or maybe like a fader or something like that. No, so for example, I'm going to use this knob, okay, the first knob. So for this one, I'm going to be using, no, I don't know, I'm going to put dimmer, for example. The short name is going to be exactly the same dim. My controller is going to be the 0, and my channel is going to be, I don't know, maybe the same one. And I'm going to put like this one, okay? So I need to make sure that loop MIDI is going to receive the same information of what I'm doing here. Okay, so perfect. We are receiving right the throughput per second with this knob, okay? So what is going to happen next? Into QLC, we will put this automatically add channels button. So this is going to be open the wizard and so on. So once it's enabled, you will be seeing all the channels, all the inputs that you are mapping through FL Studio, okay? For example, as you can see, I'm going to turn this on and off. And over here in the input profile editor, you will see the slider. I'm doing this slider. Okay, that's perfect because it's recognizing that I'm doing this knob through the loop MIDI and it's going to QLC editor. Okay, for example, if I'm going to, I don't want knobs, no, for example, I want this piano roll thing. So you can put obviously here, you can click here, you can click over there and so on. No, for example, you can see that it's only creating one channel, right? I mean, like one channel per name. I don't know if that's because of FL Studio amount of MIDI tracks, but I'm not sure. For example, if I click B10, it's going to be only this one. But if I click B9, it's going to add me another one. So, I mean, this is like to be caution on this one because I'm not sure if all the notes are going to be received to QLC. Okay, so keep this in mind. Obviously, when you have all these notes, sorry, I'm going to close this one. Obviously, if you are having all these notes and so on, you can practically click the same wizard button and then you can save these ones. Okay, so I'm going to need to put this model. I'm going to put the same. Okay, so we have here selected this FL Studio MIDI, so everything is going to be on the same profile for this universe 1. The mapping is going to be all obviously QLC. And then what is going to happen? For example, I don't know, if you have created some scenes, some functions over here, let's suppose that I'm going to make a, I don't know, like a Sharpie, for example. I'm going to put this Sharpie only like for this tutorial purpose. And I'm going to put, I don't know, over here, over the virtual console, a fader that is going to be like our dimmer channel for this Sharpie, for example. Okay, so I have this one. And this one, we can select over here in the slider properties, our input universe and the channel now. So we can auto detect over here. And I can, obviously you can click it, it will stay. I will go to FL Studio, I will put the dimmer one, and it's going to link the input universe, like for example, this profile. For the input channel is going to be a slider one, as we can see it now. So that's perfect because that's the perfect one that we are doing now. So I'm going to click OK. And then, as you might know, you can switch to operate the mode plus, and there you go. No, so for example, with this FL Studio, I can run this slider. Okay, so I'm going to up on FL Studio, and it's going also up into QLC plus. So this is great because obviously we can what we can do over here is like, okay, I'm going to create like a, I don't know, I'm going to input any song. For example, let me search for a track from, I don't know why I'm not finding. Okay, it's perfect. So let me do quick this one. So as you can see here, we have obviously all the track, and whenever I want, for example, create automation clip, I can have this one, and I can make this, for example. I don't know, let me make a double curve or something like that. No, sorry, let me do this one. Okay. Or something like a wave, maybe, only for this test. And whenever I click on play the track, it's going to happen something like this. And then I can dimmer, obviously, all the things. Obviously, also you can create a functions with scenes in order to be activated with some nodes, and that should be all, guys. I believe it's quite easy, but it's a little bit complex in order to know how to use the ports of the MIDI from FL Studio to QLC Plus. So if you have any questions, I will glad to answer. So leave your comments, leave your questions, and see you soon.